Hey everybody, so today we're going to be reviewing Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Nintendo Wii.
And so yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This game, after many delays, people were really disappointed. It took so long to come out. Brawl finally came out in 2008, and it's one of the most impressive fighters to date, like, for any system.
So the idea that you could play as an entire cast of Nintendo All-Stars and fight them against each other was just a really amazing idea when Super Smash Bros. First came out, and then they made Melee, made it even better, and this is just even greater than Melee.
Yeah. And not only are there like over 30 different characters to choose from, but there's also some really cool additions that made people really happy with it, like Solid Snake and Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just really cool.
Yeah, there were some really good characters to add in. The gameplay of this fighting game is extremely fun. Not as fun if you don't have more than two players, because it gets kind of boring playing computers over and over again, but it's still pretty fun.
Yeah, it's like mainly a family game. And the fighting is pretty balanced this time. Like, all the fighters, no fighter really seems overpowered or anything. Like, they're all pretty balanced.
Yeah, since no character's useless, you could use them all, and also they have this really cool thing that makes each character unique. They actually have this ball that goes around with the Super Smash Bros. Brawl logo in it, and you basically hit it, and if you hit it a certain amount of times, whoever hits it the most first they like glow rainbows, and when you press a certain button, on the Wii remote, it's B, you do like your special attack, like, I know that there are, like, Wario changes into, like, Super Wario.
Yeah, and, like, Sonic changes into Super Sonic. These are just things that make each character that much more unique.
Yes.
And another thing that makes them unique is that Melee, a big problem with Melee is that some characters were, like, similar, like Link and Young Link and Dr. Mario. But this time around, every fighter is really unique. And even, like, characters like Ganondorf and stuff that were clones before, they're pretty cool now.
Like, they actually still have, like, a young Link and old Link, but it's really Toon Link and just, like, normal Link.
Yeah.
But they are actually pretty different. Like, they have the same moves, but I think Toon Link is actually, like, a little faster, and they jump higher, and just little things like that.
Yeah, but one thing that is the same characters at Final Smashes, like, some of the Final Smashes are very similar, like Toon Link and Link, they have the exact same Final Smash. And Fox, Falco, and Wolf, they all bring down a Landmaster, and I would have liked to see more variety there.
Yeah, really, the Landmasters are just all different colors.
Yeah.
Not much difference. They shoot the same, they fly the same, and they move the same. The controls in this game really work well, and really you can't make any mistake when playing this game. Like, after you learn the controls, it's not like, oh my gosh, I accidentally pressed the attack button and the jump button, because it doesn't really matter. Since the game's like going so quickly, it doesn't really matter if you mess up.
Yeah, you get used to it. And there's a lot of different ways to control the game, actually. Either you can use the Wiimote and the Nunchuck combination. You can also use the Wiimote sideways, the GameCube controller, which is my favorite, and the classic controller. And they all work really well because you can actually customize what each button does and figure it out on your own, whichever combination you like. And it's just like, it's going to work for anybody if you can do that.
Also, they've added in, like, a bunch of new, like, items that you could get, like rocket launchers and new guns and everything like that. Also, you have the ability to turn the items on and off like all the other Super Smash Bros. Games. And really, everything in this game has everything every other game in the trilogy had.
Yeah, and more. And in this game, there's a ton of new stages. There's, like, even more than the characters. Like, there's a bunch of them. I don't even know how many there are, but there's a lot. And they're all from there's some Melee stages from Super Smash Bros. Melee, and that's pretty cool because there was some really fun ones there. And you can also create your own stages. And the ones you create on your own, they're probably not going to be as fun as, like, the ones that are already made. And the level editor is sort of bare bones, and you can't really, there's not a lot of options. It's not that great. But sometimes you can make some pretty like crazy custom stages just to screw around, and that's fun, I guess.
One thing that I was kind of disappointed about like the stages is that they didn't have any Nintendo 64 stages added in.
Yeah. One new addition to this game is that in Melee you have the adventure mode, but this time it's replaced by the Subspace Emissary adventure mode. And it's the same sort of idea where you're going in stages and stuff, but it's really long. It's like a whole game in itself. It's probably going to take you 7 to 8 hours to complete it. And the cutscenes between each level, there's the cutscenes, and those are actually really fun to watch. And they're really cinematic, over the top, and they include like a bunch of characters, like one where Donkey Kong, they get their bananas stealed and they get pissed and all this stuff. It's really funny.
In Subspace Emissary, you could also unlock some characters, but you could also unlock characters in multiplayer. And once you've unlocked a certain amount of characters, you get this special mode called Special Mode, where you could do all these things where you basically like glitch the game. You could speed everything up. You can make yourself clear metal. You can make yourself like jump super high, like with like infinite weapons and like all this cool stuff.
Yeah. The only thing about the Subspace Emissary is that it's too long almost. You're gonna get bored of it after a while. So yeah. Also, other things that have returned are the classic All-Star modes and the event mode too. And there's a ton of new events, and some of them are even like continuations of ones in Melee, which is cool. And there's also stadium mode where you can select from a couple of like different minigame type things. Like one of them is home run contest where you hit this like sandbag as far as you can, and another one is like survival sort of thing, like multi-man Melee or Brawl. And
I think they had that in all of the other games too. I'm not really sure about Melee, but I know that they had it in the very first one.
Yeah, and yeah, so another thing is you can also play retro demos of like old NES games and even SNES games, maybe in N64 games, but the problem with these is that the time limit is like 2 minutes, and it's really too short. I guess they want to try to get you to buy these games on Virtual Console, but it's just a missed opportunity, and you're not going to really want to play it because it's only like 2 minutes.
I think it might have been better if they actually gave you the full game, since the games that they have are not really like the really big games, other than I think they have Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, or at least a couple like levels or something. Another thing that's returned are trophies and like other sort of collectibles, like you can collect stickers and stuff. There's also this challenge like board thing where this whole like board of challenges you like break open when you complete a certain task, like complete classic mode with 5 different characters, and you unlock a trophy or a sticker, whatever you get. And these add a lot to the replay value actually, because you're gonna want to unlock these.
So the graphics in this game are really good, except for the frame rate that could be a little choppy sometimes, and during Wi-Fi, it's very choppy.
Yeah, and also there's like a lot of like delay in between time you press the button, time it actually does something on the screen and Wi-Fi. So overall, that mode is sort of disappointing as well, and it really could have been done better.
Yeah, and plus nobody really goes on Wi-Fi, since I don't know. When I had the game, I had no idea it even had Wi-Fi on it.
Yeah, it's because now it's like a couple years old and not as many people play it. So the soundtrack in this game, and just the sounds overall, the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks ever compiled in a video game. You're gonna have like the Mario classics, the Legend of Zelda, and even a bunch of like other ones from like Solid Snake games, like Metal Gear Solid and Sonic the Hedgehog, like a bunch of music, and like probably over 100 songs.
Overall, multiplayer is the main attractive of this game, where you're going to be spending most of your hours playing it.
Yeah, but not with like by yourself, mostly with like when friends are over.
Yeah, the thing about the difference between playing by yourself and just playing with another friend, it's better when you have like somebody else there, because then you could like talk to them while you're playing, and then you could like mess with them and like kill them even if they're on their team. I think they have a mode where you could attack teammates, and it's just really fun. Other than when you're playing one player, you're really just like playing a computer.
Okay, so overall, Brawl is one of the most polished fighters on the Wii, and it's just one of the best fighters in general for like every system. It's just one of the best fighting games you can buy, and
so yeah, go buy it.
Yeah,
it'll definitely be probably like one of your best Wii games you have,
and like probably from 10 years from now, it's gonna be like a classic.
Yeah.
So that's our review of Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Hope you liked it.
Happy gaming.
Okay, goodbye.